Welcome, Karkom, Cards and Comics here. Welcome back.
What it do?
I'm Hearse.
Big Josh.
And we're here again, another week for Duel. Last week we said that we needed to bring a character that wore predominantly red, or predominantly red was a character aspect to that person. So I'm bringing a predominantly red character. He's bringing one. We have to make that argument of why our fighter would win out over the other. That's all we do here. It's just a quick little fisticuffs 1v1. So we always like to start with predictions. Did you start predictions last week? I don't even remember.
I don't remember, but I'll go ahead and throw my guess out there.
Okay.
All
right.
I think it's someone we've talked about not too terribly long ago. As far as just characters go, he was like just a small convo we had. I think he went with Eric the Red.
Oh, interesting. Okay, no, I did not go Eric the Red. This is not even Marvel at all.
Okay.
So, I didn't really give much thought to who you were going to bring, really. I kind of thought it might just be like more of a like a blander character that just has like a bit of red or something, where it's like the only color that's actually there is red.
Oh, okay.
But it's like, like if Namor wore red Speedos,
Okay.
where it's like it's minimal, but it's the only color you got to choose.
I gotcha.
So like I was kind of thinking of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something, like Raphael, but I really don't know. I have no idea who you could be bringing.
So my strategy of going with out there characters is kind of working.
Yeah, it's really got my mind on the fringe. I don't know where this could go.
Well, for my character, I went with more of a. I guess he wouldn't really be more of a mainstream character, but for like us, he is a mainstream character because
Okay.
we've talked about him and we joke about him a lot. So
Really?
yes.
Okay, interesting. Well, do you want to reveal first, or you want me to? Okay.
Sure.
All right. Let's hear about how this character came to be.
Well, his first name, which I guess this might even be the giveaway for you because he is a Marvel character.
Okay.
All right. His real name is Kalark.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is Gladiator.
I went with Gladiator.
So this is the Marvel version, essentially, of Kal-El.
Well, yeah, because his name is literally a mix up of Kal-El and Clark. So
Right.
yeah, I went with him because I have been going with the out there characters, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna throw it off and go with someone we talk about on a pretty regular basis. I mean, even if we talk about him as a joke,
Yeah.
but which we do,
But I mean, he's really,
very powerful.
really strong.
So yeah, that's who I went with. Let's who'd you
Sorry to spoil it. I
No,
guess.
it's okay because
because I recognize that, and it was a quick rundown, like spinning wheel in my head, where it was like predominantly red and Gladiator. But that's cool. A man with a purple hawk.
with a purple hawk and purple face.
All right, so my guy is actually not even a guy. He is a grown plant that was engineered into a weapon. This guy, I mean, he looks human for all intents and purposes. Like, he walks around on the street, he gets drunk a lot. He's like, a big deal. He's the main character of his manga and then anime. So let's see. He's wanted. He is known as the Stampede, the Humanoid Typhoon, the $60 billion Double Dollar Man. This character is Vash, the Stampede.
He's a plant?
He is a plant.
Huh.
And I made a card, of course, with my little how I do. Yeah, you can kind of see it.
But he's a plant?
Vash the Stampede is a plant.
So, like, if we don't give him water, he's dead?
Well, most of the time he's walking through a desert, trying to find sustenance.
So he's a cactus.
But yeah, he can pretty much survive pretty well in a desert condition. But this character is very cool. If you don't know, if you haven't watched the show Trigun, it's really cool.
So this was what you meant when you had mentioned that your character could have been for the odd-limbed fight.
Yes, this character could have been for the odd-limbed fight, where I considered him because his whole arm is a gun.
Right.
It's mechanical in nature, but like basically his wrist like separates and comes down here. Like the handle to the gun is like built out of here essentially, so it like looks really weird how it animates to him actually like grabbing the gun. But supposedly in this world, all plants have a ability to harness like energy to the point of nuclear explosions.
Okay.
It's just that most plants don't have a way to like think about how to use it, right? So by engineering this plant to basically think he's human and teach him about guns and then teach him that his arm's a gun and he's a power source that can use this, he can essentially shoot this thing from his arm that has the strength of an atom bomb. So what happens essentially is that he doesn't realize the strength of it because nobody's ever actually harnessed it into it before, and he blows up an entire city by accident.
Whoops.
Because he just had no idea what it was. It's like in X-Men, he's essentially a child now learning these powers, and he blows up the whole city and he's the only survivor. So that's why he's wanted, is because like the sheriffs and everything are like, we want to know what happened. Why is he the only survivor? And he kind of has this weird dumb luck that always like plays out in his favor, where like he's a good guy at heart, but like he lost memory of like why that town was destroyed and everything, so he had no recollection of what happened before that.
Okay.
So it's kind of like Wolverine built into it as well, where he has no idea why he is. It's just who he is,
So he probably spends his life trying to figure out who he is, what he is.
Yeah, he keeps having
trying to survive.
Yeah, he keeps having visions of like this woman and like like a past life essentially, but he doesn't know like what happened to any of those people, or like his brother. He doesn't know what happened to him.
Okay.
And he's trying to figure this out. All the while he's a hired hitman or a hired gun, essentially. So like people will hire him as like a bodyguard or whatever. And even in close range, he can dodge bullets like within feet. Okay. So like he'll move erratically and stuff, almost like Spider-Man, like spider sense, He'll always move a certain way to like dodge bullets even when it's really close. So and nobody knows whether or not he's like actually fast, or if he's just looking at the gun and its position and he figures out the trajectory before they shoot and then adjusts himself for it. But there will be like
both.
Yeah, because like honestly, he's done some crazy stuff with like his feats of strength and speed. Like for instance, there's this giant robot that like shoots its hand off and like crushes people with it, and like he'll like throw a boomerang or something, and it'll just like hit it like and just deflect it just enough. Okay. So it's like, is he just getting that lucky, or did he know?
You might have a little bit of domino mixed in there.
Yeah, like, and he doesn't know. He just knows like it just works out. So like he always tries to stay away from trouble, but because he's worth $60 billion double dollars,
trouble always seems to find him.
Yeah, because like somebody will be robbing a saloon and then they're like, "Wait, are you?" And he's like, "No, I'm not." And they're like, "No, I think you are." You know, because like he doesn't even know he's really the Stampede. You know, he just knows he's Vash. So, like, yeah, there's a whole weird thing going on where everybody suspects him to be this killer that's going to kill everybody in the whole city he's in. But like once they sit down with him and talk to him, he's just a nice guy.
Right.
So,
okay.
But when trouble finds him, he always comes out with no scratch or no nothing, and the other people are dead.
All right. Well, for those who don't know about Gladiator,
so that was kind of a long story, but there's only one season, so the whole show is it's straight to the point.
I gotcha. For those who don't know about Gladiator, he was basically one of Marvel's attempts to recreate Superman. So he has a lot of the same powers and abilities, like super speed, strength, stamina, durability, X-ray vision, heat vision, super breath, frost breath, super hearing, warp speed flight. In the comics, he really doesn't have a top speed, but the highest speed mentioned so far is 100 times the speed of light.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean he's super fast. Like his heat vision in the comics has been said to be hotter than a star. He can withstand heat from the Phoenix Force. So yeah, he's pretty out there as far as strength. Probably one of his biggest feats of strength he's completed in the comics is he's ripped a black hole in half with his bare hands.
What?
Yeah, so I don't know how that works.
Okay.
So those are just like some of his powers. Like he can resist psychic attacks. He's not immune to them, but he does resist them. He can fly. He can up and away, just like Superman, I guess. But he does have one major downfall, and that's his power is based on how confident he is.
Okay.
So, if like he's beaten the best of them as far as strength goes, he's went toe to toe with the Hulk. He's beat the Thing. He's made Juggernaut look like a bitch. But at the same time, he got his butt kicked by Cannonball like with ease. So,
which was a great comic. I love that comic.
And not only is it Cannonball, but it's like a young Cannonball who's still trying to figure out himself out. So yeah, he does have that issue. Yeah, that's really like his only downfall. Maybe he's overconfident though. His race, he's Strontian, I think is how it's pronounced. Strontian. They're like very super strong-willed people. Like it just runs in their blood. So they're automatically overconfident when it comes to just about anything.
Okay.
Plus, he's the leader of the Imperial Guard. So he's like bound by honor to follow and do the bidding of whoever rules the Shi'ar Empire. Whether he agree with them or not, he's still going to do whatever they say because, he lives by his honor. Which I guess that could be another downfall too, is his honor could get the better of him. He might not agree with it to the point where that might break his confidence if he doesn't. And then that's actually happened a lot in the comics. But other than that, like, there's not a whole lot out there about him. They just, they know he's lived for centuries and has shown very little, if no sign of aging. So
Really? I didn't know that.
Yep.
That's cool.
So they know he's really old, super strong, and all that. So I'm thinking that we can take it to this plant.
I kind of think so too, because I mean, I don't know if even the atomic bomb is gonna affect this guy in the way that it needs to, because I mean when we're talking about dodging bullets in like very short distance, that's a hell of a lot slower than the speed of light. And this guy is moving 100 times the speed of light.
Well, not at minimum, but like.
But
yeah,
what's been said.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I did want to point out too that like, at one point during a what was it, a dueling competition, he actually made sure no one was killed by actually throwing rocks and hitting the bullets out of their trajectories during the duels.
That's cool.
Like, yeah, it's just like, it's insane, like, the amount of accuracy and everything that you would need to hit one bullet with a stone rather than like a whole bunch, right?
Yeah.
So, like,
should have went up against like Bullseye or Hawkeye.
Right. Yeah, because like honestly they would have no irons in the fire against somebody that has like an atomic weapon essentially with it's called an angel arm.
Okay.
I like, so every plant in this world can harness the power of the angel arm, but it's just that he was made in a way that he could understand it. And then he has other conventional weapons too, like guns and crossbows and all kinds of stuff, like from the Old West.
Okay.
But yeah, ultimately, I think just being an android and having super strength from being like a plant, just isn't going to cut it against.
I've never met
another Superman ripoff.
Yeah, I've never met a plant that I couldn't beat up personally.
Right.
So.
And your jaws aren't even that strong.
Right. And then, although no plant has ever pulled a piece on me either, so.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something? You're just walking along and a dandelion's like, yo, what's up, brother?
Here, give me your money. Like, what do you need with money? You're a plant. I got a gun. You know what? You're right. And you take out my wallet.
Right.
So this fight, because I think it's going to be really short as far as arguments go, but for this fight, I had it narrowed down to like 8 different characters, and I really couldn't decide. I actually wrote one out for a different character for this fight that I was going to bring, but I thought he was too powerful.
Oh, really?
So I scaled it back to someone who had more of a weakness.
And I thought, like, bringing the atom bomb is going to, like, that's some strength. I mean, like, he's not weak by any means, but...
But the person that I almost brought to this fight was none other than, if I can open it to the right page, Red Hulk.
Oh, okay.
So one of his main abilities is he absorbs, like, energy blasts and stuff like that. So, like, if you would have shot him with a nuke, you would have just pissed him off.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, it seems way too powerful. Let me bring it down to someone who's got a bigger disadvantage. And I was still too powerful, I think.
Yeah, because I was trying to play it in my head where, like, okay, maybe he can dodge some eye lasers, but I don't think to the point where he would start losing confidence in himself, like, because I mean, so a person dodged 4 laser beams in a row, like,
yeah,
like, and could he even dodge the first one if you're not expecting it? But if it's not like Homelander where it like glows all red and then shoots, I don't know how fast he can shoot him, or like what the build up or what, I don't know the science between how many milliseconds it takes him to shoot it.
Right.
But like, even if he was able to sense that it was coming and dodge it, like, he's not going to dodge that many where he's going to start losing confidence in himself.
Yeah. Or, I mean, who's to say that he even fires off first? Maybe he lets Vash shoot first and he just stands there and takes it.
Right,
Because he's like, oh, is that all you got? Because my confidence just went way up on this fight. So yeah, I probably should have went.
I mean,
with...
he wouldn't. To be fair, Vash wouldn't start with an atomic blast,
right?
Because he's so passive and just doesn't want to hurt
He
anybody.
was trying to chuck a rock at him or something.
And then he'd scurry around on all fours, like to go hiding. Like he does that. like he'll throw a rock or something, and then like they'll start returning fire, and like he'll be like scurrying around like a little bug or something to get behind cover. It's hilarious.
So then Vash's biggest chance is that Gladiator just sees it as a dishonor to fight someone like that.
Yeah, I
He's
guess.
like, it's not even worth it.
Yeah, he would probably try to turn him in for the money, I guess. Just be like, all right, buddy, come on, you're coming with me. Like,
so
this is done.
I did have a lot of other characters ready to go that I was thinking about. Like, I have Red Tornado, Carnage, Omega Red,
Dang.
Magneto, which, depending on which version of Magneto you went,
Right.
a lot of times he's wearing purple, but the older ones he was wearing red. But the one I really wanted to do was Spider-Ham, old Peter Porker.
That's awesome.
And so those are the characters I had it narrowed down to. Oh, and Augustus Freeman, which I've never heard of this guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's from, what comic was it? I forget even what studio it was from. But he's from an indie comic, and when I was researching it, I was like, I had like 30 characters, and I started narrowing it down. I was like, you know what, I'm just going to make a page for all of them and pick day of. And then ultimately I picked Red Hulk, and then today I picked Gladiator as well, and decided to swap to Gladiator to go with what I felt was the lesser of the two that I narrowed it down to.
But I also kind of think that Gladiator could take Red Hulk.
Maybe I
think he could.
Well, Gladiator's lost to some pretty big names that the Hulk has beat. Although the people that Hulk beats, and Hulk often does lose to those same people too. But like, Gladiator's lost to Thor. He's lost to Cannonball. He's lost to some people that Red Hulk could crush.
Yeah, but if you don't know Cannonball, when he's using his powers, he's invulnerable. Like you can't hurt him. So that's kind of like why it lasts as long as it does. And that's a brawl, man. It's like a fist fight for the ages. That book is so great. Like Joe Mad just doing the artwork in that, it's flawless, man, start to finish.
By the way, is my favorite comic book artist out there.
Yeah?
Joe Mad, absolutely.
Nice.
I just love the way, like, the claws, the teeth, the face, just everything just looks so almost over the top, but he gets it so right, I feel. And he can draw feet. That's pretty big.
Right on.
No offense, Liefeld, but...
So, I guess that kind of brings us to what we're picking for our next week.
Okay.
Because... you said it already. I guess I'm kind of spoiling it.
So for the next fight, I'm thinking no boots, no shoes. It's just gonna be
service.
It's gonna be a barefoot brawl, baby.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess I kind of walked into that where, like, spoiler alert, I knew that was coming, but yeah. So for next week, we're actually just gonna have that be our guideline, and I think that's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the giveaway?
Yeah, sure. We are currently, well, last I checked, we're currently at 16 subscribers. When we hit, what was it, 25?
25.
25 subscribers, we're going to give away a free mystery box. It's about yay big of comics. And there's going to be a grab bag of Magic the Gathering cards inside as well. All you have to do is when that video drops that we've hit the 25, we will announce it then and there. That will be the one that we will run it for however long we want, but that video will be the one that you have to like and comment and, of course, be subscribed in order to be eligible. I will ship it to you 100% free. and it'll just be a gift from us to you.
Yep. So make sure you tell your friends. We always throw some great stuff in those boxes and those grab bags. If you're a Magic the Gathering fan, you won't be disappointed. If you're a comic book fan, you won't be disappointed. And there might be a few other goodies we throw in there too. Whatever we can fit in the box safely. I feel like we'll make this a pretty good prize.
Yeah, I agree. And as always, let us know how you think the fight would go, even though this one is pretty cut and dry in my opinion. But you might have a different opinion. You may have watched Trigun 4 times more than me and just know something that I left out. So fill us in the comments below. If you're a Gladiator expert, if you're a Vash expert, or if you've never heard of these characters before,
Yeah, so who the hell are these guys?
why did we pick these guys? But until next time, you stay minty fresh.
Peace.